Welcome back, Sketchlife friends. Today, I'm going to show you how to draw this adorable sloth ice cream cone. Let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the oval shape for the sloth's head. So his head kind of makes up this little scoop of ice cream. That's on top of the cone. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off with the eyes. And I'm drawing them a little bit lower on the head. So this is just a circle with a little white dot inside of them. And here's like the little widow's peak, the marking that goes around its head. See, it looks a little bit like a heart shape. Now these are the markings that go around the eye. Add in a little nose. And his mouth. Aw, look how cute he looks already. So this is going to be the second scoop of ice cream on top of his head. So that's a line that curves up. And now we're going to make it drippy, bruh. And as you can see, we're going to have some construction lines here that we're going to erase. So now we've used what's called overlapping. We have this drippy ice cream in front of the sloth's face, and that helps create space and makes this drawing appear to be more three-dimensional. Now for the little cherry on top. All right. So if you didn't know, cherries have what's called melatonin. It's like a sleep aid. I guess the tart cherries have more melatonin in them. So some people eat tart cherries or maybe drink tart cherry juice as a sleep aid if you have a hard time sleeping. So this is going to be more drippy ice cream. And then we're going to get over to the little paw for the sloth. So if you're wondering, the top speed of sloth is under 1 second. It's about 0.17 miles per hour. That's how fast they move. So they're definitely nature's slow motion animal. Everything's in slow-mo for these little guys. And here's his little paw. But they move so slow, it protects them from predators, which is kind of interesting. And because their heart rate is so slow, they can actually hold their breath underwater for 40 minutes. That's a really long time. Try these little lines in for his feet. And you can see I'm going to erase out some of these construction lines now. He's almost too cute to eat, guys. And what's wild too is their digestive system is very slow. It takes them 30 days to digest just one leaf. It's a pretty remarkable animal, the sloth. And we are about ready to outline. So we go to coloring. If you're not using Posca markers, that's okay. I always recommend, like I said, a 48 pack of colored pencils or markers. But colors have value. So you can see in the coloring, we have lighter browns and darker browns, light tans, light oranges, light pinks. And so having a range of value. You could use color as value to add depth and dimension to your artwork. So I'm starting off here with just a red Posca paint marker. And then for the shadow, I'm going to go in with a dark red. And so just with those two values, you can see how three-dimensional it makes the cherry look. So 2 to 3 colors is recommended, and usually those will be like next door neighbors on the color wheel. All of those 3 colors will be harmonious. They're going to go together. And now I'm going to establish that light pink base color for the ice cream. Now the surface that I'm using is bristboard, which is the next best option to a canvas. So canvas is really the best work surface for Posca paint markers, just because of the nibs, the tips of these markers. As you get the paper wet, it can start to tear up your paper, but you do not have that problem with canvas. So it could be stretch canvas, or it could be canvas on a board. Those are the best surfaces to work on. And you could also prime your bristle board if you wanted to. You could go over it with acrylic paint, just add a ground on there. So you can see with this darker pink, just the regular pink, we're going in and adding some shadows. So we're trying to say the light source is on the left-hand side, so the right-hand side is getting the shadows. So as the artist, you determine what direction your light source is coming from. So I'm going to darken up the area underneath the chin. And this is beige. So this is going to be the base color for the face of the sloth. And the great thing about coloring with paint markers is with the paintbrush, obviously, you'd want to use a small brush in smaller areas, but the paint marker, it's really good for these little detailed areas. And especially for the outlining as well. So I also have an acrylic paint series on canvas. So if you want to try your hand at painting, you got to check out some of those videos. I paint with acrylic paint. But as I said before, even though I'm using acrylic paint, you could use whatever you have. And this is a dark brown to create the marking around the eyes. Yeah, I guess the sloth is appropriate because I've kind of slowed down on uploading content recently just because, you know, sometimes life gets busy. And this is just the regular brown. We're putting in the base color for the body of our sloth. And then now we're going to work in the shadows. So I'm going to be using the cacao brown. So you can see we have 3 different values of brown that we're using. I'm going to let that brown dry a little bit first. I'm going to start on the cone. So I'm going in with just a light orange. And then I'm going to move over to apricot. So light orange to still a very light orange. And then now here's the apricot, just a little bit darker. On this ice cream cone, I just went a little bit lighter today just because I wanted to have some contrast as well from the brown body of this sloth. Make sure it's readable. So I'm going to let that dry, and now I'm going to go in with some white highlights. So you can see these white highlights, especially on the little cherry there. It really starts to make things pop. I'm going to go in too and fix in those little white dots inside the eye, freshen those up a little bit. And now for the lines in the cone, I'm using yellow ochre. This is a darker yellow. And then this is the cacao brown. So I'm trying to darken up these little areas where the drippy ice cream's coming over the head of the sloth. And obviously if the left side is receiving the light, the right side we're going to add these little shadows on the body. Well, I want to thank you for drawing with me today, and I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. You got to check out my Posca marker playlist and check out my acrylic on canvas playlist. Got a lot of great videos. And always drop a comment if you have a request. So we had a few little lines there that imply the fur texture. And if you'd like, you could add some more details. You could add some colorful sprinkles or little details that you'd like. Well, good job, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.